Good morning, everyone. It is 5:15 in the morning. Currently, it is the 15th of December. I think this is episode 12. uh, so I'm like 3 episodes behind. And welcome. So this is our December vlog slash stoner thoughts, I think, something like that. So last time we talked, yesterday, I talked about a few interesting things. I'm so happy on the 18th I'm getting my hair cut. So this Saturday. Good news is 5 days left to work for the year. Because I'm off after the 22nd, and then off for the rest of the year, which sounds like a lot, but it's only a week and a half. Because of Christmas, and then I take the week after because of religious reasons. So I celebrate Yule / winter solstice. For those who aren't familiar. So what I was going to talk about today, I got 2 questions today, and apologies if you hear my rice bubbling in the background. First question came in and asked, what do you listen to when you work out? So that's an interesting question. A lot of people don't know this about me, but so when I go running, I actually listen to anime and motivational speeches, mostly Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, because that kind of just gets me into I guess psychology or mentality where I zone out and I can just continue to push, and I'll run 17, 18 minutes. And then afterwards, I typically, during my normal workout, I'll listen to what is called Beast Mode on Spotify. It's basically a bunch of motivational speeches, followed by some motivational music, stuff like that. So I'm really big on, that's how I start my day, is with a bunch of motivational speeches that kind of get me going and get me working. And so because of that, those are the 2 things. On occasion, very rare occasion, I will listen to my liked songs, which honestly, my music taste is weird. Wheeler Walker Jr., Trace Adkins, then I'll switch over to Metallica, let me think, Nickelback for some songs. Last Day, I think, is one of my favorites of theirs because it just gets me in the mindset to work harder. But yeah, so, or I'll listen to stuff like Protag or TPK, which is another really good song. If you look it up, just look up D&D music TPK, and you'll find a rap music that's really good. But yeah, so typically that's how I do things. So usually I'll work out for the hour and a half to 2 hours, listening to that. And then for the second question, what is the hardest workout that you have to do? Well, they're all difficult. But to be honest, some are more that I look forward to. I love chest day, I love arm day. Leg day is a nice relaxer for me because I don't have to run. But it's definitely a lot more intense because I don't run. I do 7 or 8 sets of squats, because I do 4 sets of back squat or normal squats, and then 4 sets of front squats, and then the same thing with deadlifts, 4 sets of normal deadlift, and then 4 sets of straight leg deadlift. So those can be difficult, but I think the hardest workouts for me are the 2 that cause me the most injuries. So running and squats are my 2 biggest ones, and the reason why isn't actually what you're thinking. So back when I was in between the Art Institute and community college, I had a time where I was working at a Sears that is no longer around, in the mall, and I would work in the warehouse. And because of that, there's a lot of bending, a lot of squatting, and stuff like that. Well, it turns out there's this thing that men got in Vietnam during the Vietnam War called a fistula, I think is what it's called. Basically, it's a ingrown hair, but the reverse. So what happens is, instead of going that little bump with that you can just either pop it, pull the hair out, whatever, you get a hole. And for men, it typically happens at the top of the ass crack because they have a hairy ass or they don't wash well enough. In my case, I just have a hairy ass, I guess. And so what would happen is I was working out regularly, and this thing started developing, and I was like, well, what the fuck? I work out, I'm healthy, like, what's going on? And my doctor said, hey, you need to basically shave this area to avoid this. First off, don't ever use men's razors to shave anything under your face, and to be honest, most men's razors suck at that. Don't cheap out on a good razor. Like, go for a good razor to shave your face. Secondly, never use them for anything else. I learned this lesson the hard way. I went to shave with a men's razor and it hurt. It was a lot of burning, a lot of pain. So don't ever use that. Women, I truly feel your plight. I don't know why your razors are single use, but it's bullshit. Men, to shave our face, we can use the same razor like 7 times before it dulls, like a decent razor. So, I developed this thing, and basically what happens is they have to go in and cut you open and then tear out the infection, because it is an infection, and it'll ooze, it'll pull out this green pus. It's nasty. If you look it up, it's pretty disgusting. I don't recommend it if you're squeamish. And then once they do that, they have to sew your ass basically shut. Like, the top of your ass crack has to be sewed shut because they're trying to hold the skin together, so it heals better. First off, that hurts like a bitch when you take a massive shit, and as a man who likes to weight train. Secondly, you can't do anything with these stitches, and you can't work out, you can't lift. You think, oh well, you can still do chest day or arm day. You can do arm day, kind of, but you don't realize how much you flex your ass when you're working out until you have to do that, and it hurts. Honestly, I just gave up for what month I think it was to heal, and even the guy's like, well, I don't know if we should take your stitches out yet, because I'm like, mate, you need to take these out. They fucking hurt. And I'm like, I'm dying here. You need to cut these out. So he did. So the wound was healed, and so from then on, I would be light on leg day. Now I already have bad knees, which is pretty well known. I have an old injury from wrestling where I got ankle picked or snake bite, depending on where you're from and what it's called, which is basically where they grab the back of your ankle and shove their shoulder into your knee, and it shoves you backwards because it locks your knee and pushes you back. And I was stupid enough to swivel when that happened, and my knee went one way, my ankle went the other. It didn't move, and I basically busted my ankle and knee. And so ever since then, my left knee's had to kind of make up for it, and it put so much damage on it. I've got bad knees. Plus, when I used to do a single leg shot, which is basically where you drop down to a knee and grab their leg to lift up, I would slam so hard because I'm so heavy that I just screwed my knees so bad. So I have bad knees on top of that. So what happens now when I go running for multiple days in a row, or if I do too much running, and my body's not yet prepared for it, while I can mentally do it and physically I'm healthy enough to, the old wound will start to kind of slightly open, and there's a little dent there that you can kind of see where they had to take the thing out. So basically I would have to deal with that, and it hurts like hell. So today, for example, I had to deal with that to go shave, and I fully know that it's starting to open, so for the rest of this week I can't go running. For the rest of this week I can't do leg lifts, and it's just because I gotta let it heal. I gotta let it close, kind of relax, and it sucks because for me, I like to work out hard, and I don't like having limitations. But sometimes your body just says, "Hey, I get it, but you need to calm down," and so it sucks. Because I was ready to do 18-minute runs tomorrow. But yeah, so leg day and running are my 2 hardest ones for that, because squats and running both do that, cause the wound to or the old surgery area to kind of slightly reopen. So I have to be very careful about that. On top of the fact that for squats it just kills my knees, in all honesty. So I have to also be very careful on not overbearing the weight too quickly. Because I could probably squat, I'm gonna guess, I don't know, 50 pounds heavier than what I'm currently doing, which is about 110 pounds on my current max out is what I'm allowed to. And I'm not in physical therapy. These are my own self-restrictions because I know how bad my knees are. Over the years, I've pushed to the point where I've gone way too hard and just busted things, so it wasn't worth it. So yeah, Those are my two hardest workouts, and that's the music I kind of listen to. Um, Tomorrow we got some questions about the stream and what we have planned for next year, and D&D questions, which I look forward to answering. Um, to start off with a real quick D&D question, will Tren be coming back? Probably not. Me and him had a bit of a spat, and we agreed it would be, well, I don't know if it was mutual, but I agreed that it would be better that we didn't hang out anymore. So I don't associate with him anymore at this point. But we'll see. You know, who knows what the future holds. If he ever comes over or comes out and apologizes, and says, "Hey, my bad, I fucked up. I apologize for all this, and this," and is like sincere about it, yeah, well, I'll be happy to let him back into games. Otherwise, not gonna bother. So, thank you all for watching this series. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully.